A very good evening to all of you. So it's very wonderful to see all of you over here. So today we are here for our introductory session. So very wonderful to see all of you over here. Yeah. Okay. So just give me a second. We are here for.
Hi, Mr. Vedagiri. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Sharath from Hyderabad. We had a talk. Did you remember me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I remember you.
So, how are you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Fantastic,
It
fantastic.
was
Thank
it
you.
was nice talking to you, sir.
Yeah, in fact, me also. It is all mine. Nice.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead for the session. Yes.
Absolutely. So we'll begin our session with a short prayer. So I request all of you to just maintain a minute of silence for an internal prayer, and after that we will begin our session. Thank you, everyone. So let us begin today's session. So today is the introductory webinar for the Working with Word Masterclass, and today is a slice from the program called Your Cover Story. So today we live in a digital bubble. So thanks to the pandemic, we are facing a barrage of documents and files and folders because we are constrained to our work desk, and we typically don't get to move around so much. So we are in constant position where we are working at all the time, and we are constantly facing a multitude of documents, spreadsheets, PowerPoints, and all of that. And of course, not to mention the meetings, the number of meetings that we attend on a daily basis. So research shows that the average attention span to the average time that is required to get the attention of someone is only 7 seconds, which means that if we are unable to grab the attention of a person within the first 7 seconds, be it in person or in paper or online, the momentum is lost. So your documents or your presentations that you're making should be so effectively designed and so beautifully structured that it grabs their attention, and beyond that your content will sustain their attention. So I have a question for you. So let's look at this photograph. So can you tell me what the occasion is over here? Can someone tell me?
It's a marriage occasion, wedding.
It's a wedding. Okay.
Maybe
So how do
wedding
you
or
say
some,
that?
yeah, some sangeet, wedding related, some sangeet, some anything.
Okay. So how do you say? So what makes you say that this is something related to a wedding?
Because of their attire, because of their
Okay.
the dress code
Yes.
and all.
The
Okay.
attire and the background.
So
And
what
then
about
the
this
man-
picture? So
It is
can you
more
tell
of
me what this picture
office.
is about?
This could be an
Office
official
discussion.
the workplace
Official
environment
meeting.
wherein
Official discussion.
Official discussion. So what makes you say that this is an official discussion and this is an office?
Their attire and the way they stand next to each other and so interested.
The
They look
items they
professional.
have in the hand.
They look professional.
They look very professional. Okay. Great answer. So these are two scenarios, and the moment you look at them, you are able to tell what exactly is happening over there, and you are able to give me a reason. And one thing that we commonly saw is their attire. So the first photograph shows that they are dressed for a wedding, and the second photograph shows that they are dressed for a workplace environment. Would you be able to accept if they are dressed like this for either of these occasions?
Not really, but there is a possibility.
Yeah, today in the virtual world, anything is possible.
Yeah.
But when you look at a photograph of a bride and a groom, and if the groom is dressed in this manner, would it be acceptable for you?
Yeah, definitely not.
Oh,
If it is acceptable for the wife, then wedding will go ahead, sir.
Yeah, for the wedding it is okay.
So you've just unveiled the secret of a successful marriage.
Yeah.
And in the workplace, let's say that there is a meeting and there is a presentation. If the presenter comes in this manner, would that be acceptable? Whether it is Zoom or in person?
Not at all.
Not, but see, that is a context here. Depends on the seminar or webinar, whatever. If it is a professional, it is not that is not suitable attire for the presentation.
Yes, so this is a professional setup, because the photographs that we saw earlier is a professional setup. So in that setup, if a person is going to come in like this, would that be an acceptable?
Not be
would that
the
be acceptable in general?
the right approach.
But
for a presenter.
sir, can I come in just for a minute if you give me time?
Please.
Yes, please do.
I attended a program way back in 1990.
Mhm.
Guy from New Zealand, Bill Potter, and Peter Sim from Singapore. So
Mhm.
we all went in our coat and suit. We didn't know. He was coming in. It's only an exception. It cannot possible. But interesting, I'm saying. They had come in a Bermudas and a T-shirt. For Indians, it is we are always informal, but become formal. And he sat down on the floor. So we too had to do it. But that is very rare, sir. Just giving a one small example. Sorry for that.
Yes. So that is.
Yeah, it is all, Mr. Vedigiri, it is all depends on the situation, the context, and the the program which we did. If it is
Absolutely.
a formal, informal meeting.
See, then exception is not the rule.
Exactly. I was about to come to. I was about to say.
I have one point.
Exceptions are always there. See,
I have one
still
point
have
here.
organizations where you have a culture where people are dressed casually and people just come in their jeans and all of that. I mean, I was part of an organization which used to encourage that culture. But when you go into a formal setup, I mean, when you take a first glance at that person, right? When you take a first glance at that person, you will not really know whether this guy is a groom or whether this guy is here for a meeting, whether he is the presenter, he is an attendee. You won't know at first glance. So you'll have to go ask them and find out what exactly is happening over there. And that exactly is what is happening in today's world, because the current COVID pandemic has really opened up the international market, and we are living in a global village in its truest sense, because we have been saying all along that it's a global village and the internet has really converted all of us to be residents of a global village. But it's actually the COVID pandemic which has actually converted all of us into citizens of a global village, because we often tend to meet a lot of people from across the culture. And since all of us are working from home, the international markets have really opened up for all of us, and we get so many opportunities today to go and talk and to present and to actually get business from not just people from our country, but also people from other countries as well. So it's such a situation. What happens is that your competition also, see, just when your markets are also expanding, your competition also expands. So which means that you are competing with people who are creating documents of a very high standard and who are creating presentations of very high standard. So this brings us to the question as to what exactly we need to do to really make sure that the documents that we create are of that level or of that level of professionalism. See, from our perspective, we have no shortage of knowledge, we have no shortage of content, we have no shortage of expertise. But when it comes to presenting yourself, That is very, very critical, because when you put a document in front of your reader, be it your client, be it a person who comes to you, be it your peer, be it a person who you are training or mentoring, when you put a document in front of them, you are literally putting yourself in front of them. How would you present yourself to that person, to your reader in person, is how you should be presenting your documents to them as well. Because the moment they take a look at the document, the moment they start going through the document, who you are should be reflected in the document. So good design and good documentation is very, very critical in today's world, especially in today's world, because now, since people are sitting in at their homes and they have access to the internet, they have a plethora of options to look at, and they look at so many things. There are so many options that are available today that people have actually become very, very particular about how things are presented to them, because people today don't have the time to really go through and have the patience to really sit through and read through pages and pages of documentation which is just black and white. So be it a simple resume that you're creating for yourself, starting from that to creating a proposal document or creating an annual report for your company, to whatever it might be, any kind of documentation, you need to have a degree of professionalism, a class added to your documents to make sure that you stand apart from the rest of the crowd, right? So why do we need a well-designed document? So that is what we're going to look at. So a good design always gives. So what does it give you? So good design helps you create a brand identity for yourself. So whether you are part of an organization or working as an individual, it helps you to build your own personal brand. The moment someone receives a document from you, they know that, okay, so this person has sent me a document. It is going to look very, very professional, and I want to go through it. It gives a sense of it gives a sense to the reader that they should go through it and there is something interesting for them to learn from the documents that they produce. And of course, it also helps you motivate yourself and your team when you are in a position to create beautiful documents which are very, very professionally designed. That gives you a personal sense of pride, saying that yes, I stand for this, and my brand stands for this, my organization stands for this. And that in itself is a tremendous amount of motivation to really make you go out there and give your best. Because what you put in your document is one thing, it's just the first step. What you go ahead and give and deliver is the next step. And this, a good document design, will help you take that step into good performance so much easier. And of course, the time and cost savings coming when it comes to good design is enormous, because when you go in for a document design, or when you are creating a brochure for yourself or for your organization, when you're creating a report, you're creating a resume, what we typically do is we go out to a professional, a DTP professional, or we go to a graphic designer, and we use all sorts of complicated tools to make the document look really flashy and attractive and all of that. But the thing is that all of that can be done so simply and so effectively with Microsoft Word that you don't have to spend money on all of that. And creating those documents in those complicated tools takes time. Cost is one aspect. There is also the time factor. But with Microsoft Word, you can create those beautiful documents in just few minutes. I mean, it just takes literally next to no time to create such beautiful documents. I'm going to be demonstrating a small sample to show you how to convert a plain document into a really attractive document in today's session. And of course, when you have a good set of documents, when you have well-designed documents, when you have beautifully designed templates, it helps you streamline your process, because every time you are not going to open a fresh or a blank Word document and start from scratch saying, okay, so what am I going to do with this? When you adopt a good design ethic and a good design principle as part of your documentation, it is really going to help you streamline your process. And when you are about to start creating a document, you know exactly what you need to do to make the document look professional for you, to represent you and your organization. And of course, good design always sets you apart from the rest of the competition, because in the last over the past decade, in my work as a consultant, I have reviewed so many documents from so many prospective vendors and partners who wanted to partner with my organization for various projects. It is a set of those documents, a way I can actually count those professionally made documents with my hands. I mean, it's so few and far apart, because everyone goes with a boilerplate template, or they just pick up open Word, they just type in whatever they want, they just do some basic formatting and send it out. But when you see a document that has been professionally designed, it gives the reader a sense that you have taken the time and efforts to consciously impress and communicate with the reader, and that level of interest that you are expressing through your document is going to score you so many brownie points in making you a front runner in establishing those very good and long lasting business relationships, and of course communicating effectively. Because as I said before, it's only 7 seconds, that's all the time we have. So when you adopt good design principles in your Word documents, you will be able to communicate your message so effectively, and in fact you will also be able to reduce the number of pages that you actually need to deliver your message, and create a very crisp and a very beautiful and a very professional document that your readers want to go back to and read through and learn. So good design always helps. It is very, very critical when it comes to creating those beautiful documents. So we are going to look, as part of this program, we are going to be using Microsoft Office 365. So why are we using Microsoft Office 365? So this is a very important question, because I got a call from one of the attendees who was asking me, why not Google Docs? Why Microsoft Office 365? That was a very interesting question. See, both software are equally good. They have all of the features. But when it comes to Microsoft Office, the reason why I lean towards Microsoft Office is from a user perspective, it's a bit more user friendly, and it has over 258 million plus users in the world today. This is just Office 365. The older version of Microsoft Office is also there. That's a separate statistic in itself. And 70% of all Fortune 500 companies use Microsoft Office 365. So which means that if you are going to go out and create documentation, you're more likely to stumble upon a user who is working with Microsoft Office 365, and it's easy to exchange documents with them. And one more thing is, of course, Microsoft Office 365 receives a lot of updates, and it has a very robust community where you can post questions and post requests for new features, and it's actually considered quite effectively. Now, the one thing about Google Docs is available only within the browser. So you will have to be essentially connected to the internet, and you will be able to use it only within a browser. Whereas if it is Microsoft Word, you have the option of using it either in the browser through their web application, or you also have the option of using them offline. So both options are available. So if you want to really send a file as an attachment, or probably convert it into another format and things like that, it's much more easier to do with Microsoft Word. So you may have this question, can't we create a downloadable version of a Google Doc? You definitely can do that. You can save a copy of the the document that you have created on Google Docs to your local version. to your local machine and open it using Microsoft Word. But one of the things that happens is when you create a document, it's definitely compatible. Whatever you create in Google Docs opens in Microsoft Word, and vice versa. Whatever you create in Microsoft Word will open in Google Docs. But the one thing that happens over here is when you create a document in one software, be it Google Docs or Microsoft Word, and try to open it in the other software, the formatting takes a bit of a hit. So the way in which you have aligned certain objects, the way in which you have placed images and text and things like that, that alignment takes a little bit of a hit. So when you start working with a client, just make sure that you know what version they are using, whether it's Google Docs or Microsoft Office, and work accordingly. And Microsoft Office has a lot more features, a few additional features compared to Google Docs. So that's why this course has been designed for Microsoft Word, because if you master Microsoft Word and all of the features that I will be teaching you, Google Docs is going to be a breeze. It's going to be very, very simple. So that's exactly the reason why the preference is more towards Microsoft Office 365. So I have been saying so many things about Microsoft Office and all of the things that it can do, how you can create beautiful documents using Microsoft Office, how you can really make those professional looking documents with Microsoft Office. But seeing is believing, right? I can say so many things, but you'll have to really see to believe what can be done and what is the potential of Microsoft Word to create those documents. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my screen sharing, open Microsoft Word, and I'm going to do a quick demonstration for you to show you what all can be done in Microsoft Word. So I'm just stopping my slideshow. Just give me a second, stopping my share. And I'm going to change to a different camera so that I can look at you directly. Yeah, that's better. Shifting my camera and just going back to screen sharing once again. So I've opened Microsoft Word right now. Let me, yeah, my screen is being shared. Okay. So I have got this blank document open over here. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to create a nice professional looking title slide. So a cover slide or a title slide, title page is something that we use to start a document, to just give it a sense of beginning. So we typically use this for when we create a proposal, or when we are creating a brochure, or when we are creating any sort of a professional document that we want to submit, right? So typically what we do is we just press enter key over here. Let's say that response to proposals for, let's say, virtual training. Okay, so I'm just making this a little bigger so that you can see. So I'm center aligning this, probably make this a little bigger. So this is something that we are more used to seeing. And let's say this is submitted to Acme International. I'm just coming up with the name. And we have a date. Let's say it's 6th of January. Then you can just call it submitted by YLearn. Let's say we just call it YLearn. So this is something that we typically see. So we have a document, we have a cover, something like this, and we are so used to seeing this. So with Microsoft Word, you can do a little bit more than that. So I'm going to show you two levels. One is something that is available in Microsoft Word as a template that you can use. And number two, I'm going to show you how you can do something on your own with Microsoft Word. So first, let's look at what Microsoft Word can do. So in Microsoft Word, you have an option where you can go to the Insert tab in Microsoft Word on the top. And here you have an option called the cover page. So you select the cover page, you get a number of options over here. So you can select any option of your choice. Let's say I pick this one. So Word automatically creates a cover template like this for you. Can everyone mute yourself so that we can continue the process, this session without any disturbance? Yeah, thank you. So here we have a cover page which is available by default in Microsoft Word. All you'll have to do is just go in here, fill the dates. So you get a drop down like this in Microsoft Word. You just have to select the date. It automatically populates it. Let's say I'm giving the title. So my name automatically comes, since this is Office 365 and it is licensed to me, it automatically comes up, my name automatically pops up. So you can either retain this, or if you want to just have your company name, you can do that. But there is a field available for company name as well, so you can add that. And company address, let's say I'm just going to put it as Chennai. Okay. And you can customize this page if you want. So all these objects are editable. Let's say orange is not your brand color and you want to go in for a different brand color, you can do that. Let's say I want this blue along with, let's say my brand has blue and yellow, for example. You can customize something like this. Or you also have the option of changing the fonts if you want. So you can select whichever field you want to select. You can go to the home tab, you can change the font like this. So it is entirely up to you, whatever things that you want to do with your font size. You can even reposition this, you can move this up, move this down. So you are free to do anything you want with the default template. So this essentially helps you to make your document look a little bit more professional compared to what we typically are used to doing in this manner, right? Now there is a third way in which you can do this. Okay, Mr. Anil, I saw you raising your hand. I'll finish all three and then I'll answer you. I'll take your question, sir. Okay, so now we'll go to the third option. What more can you do with Word, right? So I'm taking a fresh page for that here. So now I'm going to add a image to Word. So right now this has all been text. There's been some graphics over here, just a very simple graphic. Now we're going to make this look a bit more professional. So I'm going to the third page now. Let's make this left aligned. Okay. So now I'm going to add an image. So for that, I go to the insert tab. Here we have an option called pictures. I'm going to go in for picture from file. So you have a lot of pictures over here. I'm just picking one random picture. Let's say we go with this one. So here, unlike the other software, I mean like PowerPoint or something, you won't be able to move images so easily. So this is one gripe that people have with Microsoft Word, but you can actually do it. The way in which you'll have to do it is you will have to adjust your margins of your document. See, since Word is basically a document tool, Word has this feature where it defines margins for you, right? So the margins you are defined using the rulers over here. On the top, you can see that there is a ruler to the top, and there is also another ruler to the left of the screen, right? So we are going to be manipulating these rulers to adjust the margin because we want this to go flush like this. So in order to do that, I am going to select this over here and I'm going to move this over here. So when I move the ruler, the margin gets changed. And similarly over here, when you hover your mouse pointer, the top margin, you get a double-edged arrow like this. So when you push this up, that margin also disappears. So now you're free to make this bigger like this. So you have a nice little image sitting on top, and then you can add whatever text that you want below that. I'm just pressing the enter key. So now you can see that the margin is flush to the left, but here we want some kind of a margin. So here, when I put my cursor, I go back to the top ruler and I bring this back to the original position. So Word applies the ruler only from the point where you apply that, where you place your cursor. So this means that this image, the margin for this image is not going to be affected. It's only the point from where you have your cursor, the margin gets changed. So I'm going to put in the same title over here, proposal for virtual training program. So same title, I'm going to center align that, probably make it a little bigger. Yes. Okay. So I have this nice title over here. So let's say I want to have the logo of the companies, because this is a practice that a lot of international organizations follow when they submit proposals, is they add their own logo along with the logo of the organization, right? So how do you do that? So it's very simple. You just go back to pictures again, insert picture from file. So we just select the logo. So I'm selecting this logo, hitting insert. So here you can see that the logo is sitting below the title. Now I want this logo to actually sit over here, but it will not go, because by default you won't be able to place images one on top of the other, or place text one on top of, or place text on top of the image. So how do you address this? It's very simple. There is a process called wrapping that you can do with Microsoft Word. So in order to do that, you'll have to select the images that are there in your document. So let's say I'm first selecting this image. In the picture format tab over here, you have an option called wrap text. So you select that. In the drop down, select the option through. So when you select the option through, this means that you will be able to pass text and image through that image, through that source parent image. So again, for this, I'm applying the same thing, selecting it, applying through for wrap. Now I'll be able to move this on top of this image. I'll be able to manipulate this. I can put my logo over here. And let's say I have the clients, I'd like to add the client's logo as well, right? So again, same process, just go to insert, picture from file. Let's go and pick that image. So pictures, images. So I have an Acme logo. So logo is over here. Now I'm resizing the logo and bringing it back to this page. Yeah. So now if you look at this logo, see this, what typically happens is, if it is our own organization and if it is our own brand, we typically have the high resolution logo. So this logo is transparent. So you just have to go ahead and add. But when we are going to add our client's logo to the document, what typically happens is we won't have the source files for their logo. So which means that you just get something from their website and use that as part of your document. So that means that it typically has a background to it. So how do you make sure? Because if I apply the same process, just go to wrap text, select through, and if I bring it on top, it doesn't look really nice, because this looks, the Vylon logo looks very seamless, whereas this looks like a patch. So how do we address this? So it's a very simple process. So you'll have to go in and remove the background image for this particular object. So the process is very simple. So you just double click. You have an option called, under picture format, you have an option called remove background. So when you select remove background, I'll just go, yeah. When you select remove background, a pink highlight appears over here. So you just have to select areas that you want to keep, because whatever is highlighted in pink will disappear. So I want the name Acme Core. So I'm just selecting those objects. So you can see that they are turning darker. So this means that those objects are going to be retained. Yeah. And I don't want these spaces to appear the center. So same tab, I have an option called mark areas to remove. So I don't want the spaces appearing. So I'm just selecting those. I don't want the center space to appear as well. So the moment I click outside, the logo becomes transparent. So you can again manipulate it wherever you want. So you can just put it over here. So you have a nice looking title. So if you want to add a little bit of brand color that you want, let's say that you want to add a touch of blue to this, you can do that. So again, you can go to insert. Shapes.
Some audio problem.
Select that.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Why is up some audio problem?
1 second. Yeah. Is my audio better now?
Yes.
Very good, very good.
Okay. Okay. So let me go back to sharing my screen. Just give me a second. Okay. Right. So I'm adding a touch of blue over here. So I'm just going to put in my text. So this is response to proposal number, whatever. Let's say I'm just giving a random number over here, something to this effect. And date is 6th of January 2022. So I'm going to select this, go to the home tab, right align this, and make this a little bigger so that it's a bit more visible. And this I'll probably bring it down a little bit so that it's more centrally aligned. Sorry. Yeah. And just to add a little bit of relief color, you can create some custom shapes. So you can just go to insert, go to shape. Let's say I pick this particular tool over here, and I'm going to create a shape like this. Yeah. I'm going to fill it to the same color. Yeah. So this is just a quick overview of how you can create a document, a professional looking cover. This is just one example that I just thought of in the fly, and it took me hardly 3-4 minutes to create something like this. So if you actually spend time and you are able to create templates like this, your documents will look so professional. I mean, when you look at a document cover like this, right, versus a document cover like this, versus a document cover like this, the choice is obvious as to which one you'd really like to go in and have a look, right? So there are a lot of techniques that you can use when it comes to document design. So document design is just one aspect of using Microsoft Word. There are a lot of other aspects. So this particular program will actually talk about all these aspects. So let's now go back to the slideshow. So before I do that, any questions on whatever I just shared?
Can I ask?
Yes, Anilji.
So on first slide, you put the date. I just didn't notice how you did it. Date, you put it at the top in first slide. Date.
Yes,
How
sir. You want me to
inserted
show
the
you that?
date? Yes. How you
Yes, sir.
inserted the date? Yes.
Yes, 1 second. I'll open the document again. So this is
Yes,
actually part
January
of, yes, so this is part of the Microsoft Office template itself. So this default, there is a default field that opens up when you select a cover. So this will open up by default, and when you click this, a calendar will appear. So you can select any date that you want from this calendar. When you select, the date automatically gets populated over here. So let's say you want to pick a date from last year, you can select that. The date will automatically get populated.
Okay,
So this is
thank
part of the Microsoft Office template. So they have this pre-made. Sorry, your audio is not coming through to me. Could you please repeat your question? Anilji, I hope that answered your question.
I am fine. Thank you. Darshana is there. Darshana is there. Darshana.
I'm
Thank you.
using,
Yes, Dr. Darshana.
Sir, I just wanted to ask, when we prepare the title pages, right?
Mhm.
So the margins we have changed to accommodate that particular picture. So in the second page, we have to use page break, or in second page, things will be as per the standard margin.
It will go back to the standard margin, not a problem. Every page
Okay.
and every part of the page, you can manipulate the margin. So whichever part, even within a same page, if you want a particular part of that page to have a particular margin width and the next part to have a different margin width, you can definitely do that as well.
Okay, because
So you
like
can do it within the
this
same
was the
page. You can
biggest
also do it
challenge.
in across pages. So once you finish this page and go to the next page, your normal margins, whatever you have, will come back.
Okay, so somewhere, the time when I was formatting my PhD thesis, I found it very complicated in terms of,
Yes.
so I had to continuously have that page break to get into formatting again. Thank you.
Mm-mm-mm. You can actually do it right. You can do it directly. There are no problems now.
Thank you, sir.
Because one of the challenges that people typically face when it comes to using Microsoft Word is formatting. Because they feel that Microsoft Word is very restrictive. We're not able to move objects around. We're not able to really bring what we have in our mind to the screen and things like that. So that is what I want to help you all in this particular program, because Microsoft Office is very, very flexible. There are a lot of options which are available in Microsoft Word, and it is very, very easy to master. I mean, the moment you go through this program and you apply all of this that I'm telling you, you will start working in Word like this. You'll be producing documents so fast.
And
I
this
hope,
feature is available
Box.
only in 365, right?
No, this is available in older versions of Microsoft Office as well. The features
Okay.
that I just showed you is available in the older version of
This
Microsoft.
margin setting things, like normally second page will be again as per the standard format.
See, from right from Office 2013, you will have this margin formatting. That will not be there. 2007,
Okay.
10 has this. From 13, it will automatically switch.
Okay. Thank you.
in
Yes.
office, open office also, we can do similar way, I believe.
Open Office you can do, but one of the things with Open Office is it has slightly lesser features compared to Microsoft Word and Google Docs, because it's an open source
That is,
software and it is free. So some of the features that are available in Word and Google Docs will not be directly available over there, and so it's not directly transferable. Between Microsoft Office and Google Docs, the functionality is more or less directly transferable, but with
yeah.
Open Office you will have some restrictions in terms of the number of features that are available to you.
Oh, can I convert into PDF and send that?
Yes, you can.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So any other questions with regard to this? Okay, so if there are no more questions, we will continue with our session. Just give me a second. I'll go back to sharing my screen and switching my camera before that, so we can look at me directly. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Right, let me turn around for you. So this is what you saw just now is only a snippet of of whatever is available in the bigger program, which is working with Word. So working with Word is a 4-day masterclass where I will start from the fundamentals and go into really some of the most advanced features in Word that you can use in your everyday work and really improve your productivity and the output that you are producing. So the course dates are on January 22nd, 23rd, 29th, and 30th. And there is also a bonus session which will be conducted in February. So the way this works is we will have our sessions on these 4 days. This is completely experiential and hands-on. You will get an opportunity to practice. And once the sessions are over, there will be a gap of 1 or 2 weeks depending on all of your availability, And after that, I will have a 3-hour open office session with you. So those 1 or 2 weeks after your class, you can practice whatever you have learned. You can produce documents. I'll give you some assignments, and you can bring those documents to me in that open house class where it will be for 3 hours, and I will discuss those documents with you. I will give you feedback on how it is done, and if you have any questions along the way on how exactly you need to work on certain things and all of that, you can of course contact me in those intermittent 2 weeks, or if you want to save your questions for that open office session, you can do that as well. And the course dates are on Saturdays and Sundays, and the time will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that is 3 hours per day. So we will have 22nd and 23rd, which are Saturdays and Sundays, and on 29th and 30th, which is again Saturday and Sunday, the time will be from 10 to 1 in the morning. So the course architecture will actually start with the fundamentals of Microsoft Word. So I will take you through what are the tabs in the ribbon, what are all the buttons in Word, because oftentimes when we work with Word, there are so many features that are hidden in Microsoft Word that we typically don't look at them. So I will do a complete run through of all of the tabs and buttons that are available in Microsoft Word and what all you can do with it. And then we will get into some of the advanced techniques in Word and some of the techniques that you can use to make your workflow so much simpler in terms of producing, collaborating and sharing documents. And then, of course, there will be designing for Word, where I will give you some pointers on some of the design aspects of Word. So how to make your documents look beautiful and how to make your documents look very professional. What are some of the colors that you can use, how you can align things, what are some of the tools that are available inside Microsoft to help you with those alignments and things like that, what are some of the fonts that you can use. So we'll be talking about all of that. And of course, tips and tricks, this is always my favorite part. There are a lot of hidden goodies in Microsoft Word. There are a lot of very, very interesting features and very fun to use features in Word that are available, and they really make your workflow so much easy. So we will be covering some of those tips and tricks of Microsoft Word and make this tool really work for you. So this masterclass is priced at 7,500 rupees, which is inclusive of GST. So that is the net amount that you will be paying. And for today, you can register for this course with just 500 rupees. The balance 7,000 rupees you can pay on or before the 20th of January. So what will you get? So you will get a certificate. So this is a certificate program. The certificate will be jointly issued by Wylearn and Top League. And so let me just go through the summary of what are the things that you will be getting as part of this program. So of course, the 12 hours of classroom sessions that we're going to have, we'll have a lot of hands-on activities going over there, and we will do a lot of practice, and I will show you all of that that's available in Word. You will get your certificate, and you will get this knack of creating those professional documents without spending too much time on it and spending too much money to hire professional designers and things like that to create your documents. And all of these classes are recorded, and you will have lifetime access to the recordings of all these classes. And I will also be giving you a cheat sheet which will contain some of the key techniques, some shortcuts, and some of the key features that are a summary of key features that we discuss as part of the program. So this will be given to you as a downloadable document, and I will be creating a resources page for this particular course. So this particular document will be residing in that resources page. So whenever you want, wherever you want, you can download a copy of this document and use it as a ready reference. And of course, we always have this one on ad hoc Q&A. So if you have any questions, or if you have a collection of questions and you would like to have a one-on-one session with me, all you'll have to do is just pick up your phone and let me know. We can set up some time and we can have those one-on-one conversations to get those queries answered. So people over here who are attending my PowerPoint masterclass, they are already familiar with the ad hoc one-on-one sessions that I give to answer your questions. And this is something that I have started from last year, and I'm going to do this this year as well. See, Office 365 brings in a lot of new features on a regular basis, right? So I will be creating explainer videos for all these new features. So once you attend this program, and if Word keeps adding new features, I will be creating explainer videos as to what exactly this feature is and how exactly you can use this feature in your day-to-day activities, and you will be given priority access to all of these explainer videos. So it doesn't, so it's not like you come here, complete this course, and you're gone. I will be there with you throughout the journey. So whatever updates Microsoft Word gives as part of the Office 365 package, I will be giving you informational videos. I'll be giving you those helper videos to really demonstrate what those features are and how you can work with them. And of course, if you have any questions on that, I'm always available. You can have a conversation with me, and I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Of course, we will be having our Microsoft Office community where you can collaborate with the participants. You can collaborate with me. We can share ideas. We can exchange notes and really create a nice powerhouse of great looking documents that we can collaborate and share amongst each other. So I'm going to put the link in the chat window for registering. Just give me a second. So I put two payment links. You can select any one link of your choice to register for the program. And if you want to have a preview of some of the explainer videos that I produce, so I'm actually, for those who are not familiar, I'm actually conducting a PowerPoint masterclass, which is happening right now. I have created some explainer videos for them. So if you want to access those videos, I have put a link to that particular playlist in the chat window, so you can look at how those explainer videos look like. So that I'll be creating similar videos for you in Microsoft Word for this particular program as well. So I am now open to your questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.
If-
Yeah,
oh,
can I? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, go
Yes.
ahead, go ahead.
No, no,
go
no.
ahead.
Please go ahead, sir.
No, ladies first, please.
Okay, thank you. So I just wanted to know, because I don't use Word a lot. I use PowerPoint. So will you be conducting any PowerPoint this later on?
Yes, so PowerPoint sessions I will be conducting. Right now, there is a workshop that is already happening. So that is almost towards the fag end. So probably in about 2 or 3 months from now, I will be conducting an extensive workshop on PowerPoint. I think we already have some people over here who are part of that PowerPoint workshop. So, I mean, I will keep you posted, ma'am. So once I
Yeah.
have my next workshop scheduled, I'll keep you posted.
Thank you.
And since, as I was telling, I use only open office. Now, how to practice that?
Open Office.
Yeah,
Open Office, what I would suggest is, sir, we can have a separate conversation on that. I will give you a tour of Open Office. I'll show you how Open Office works, and I'll show you some pointers, sir. We will
Right.
have a separate session for that. Just let me know when you are available, sir. I will be most happy to set up some time with you and guide you with Open Office.
with great
That will not
pleasure.
be scope. What will not be part of the scope of this particular program, but we can have a
No.
separate conversation on this, sir. I will be most happy to take you through it.
So nice of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions from anyone? Okay.
I have one question, sir.
Yes, sir.
So last 2 dates I am traveling,
Uh-huh.
especially morning, evening I am available, morning I am traveling.
Okay.
So then
An-
through video, recorded video.
Anilji, you know me. The videos will definitely
Yes.
be available for you, and I am always available at your disposal. If you need any pointers on any of those aspects in that session, I am
Yes.
always available for you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions from anyone? Okay.
Sir, Rajalakshmi, this Microsoft 365 is compulsory, then we have to buy before we are coming to the class.
Okay, that's a good question. Office 365 it's ideal if you have it, but even if you don't have it, it is not a problem. Even if you have a slightly older version of Microsoft Office, it is totally fine, because most of the features, at least 90% of whatever I'm going to be teaching as part of this program, is available in the older versions of Microsoft Word as well. It's only the 5 or 10% which is new in Microsoft Office 365 that I'll be talking about. And as always, during the program, when I'm explaining a feature, I'll tell whether it is unique to Office 365 or if it is available across all of the other older versions of Microsoft Office. So whatever we talk today is available across the older versions as well.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions for me? Okay. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I think we are at the top of the hour. So if there are no more questions, I will go ahead and close the session. And if you do have any questions after this session, you always have my number. I'm always available to you. Please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be most happy to take your questions and answer them. Okay. So yes, sir. I will. Yes, Mr. Indrajita, I will email you the link. I'll payment link. I'll do that, sir. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Thank you.
Good night, sir.
Good night.